Still go. I never answer to no, man. I still go. Go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Build a seed with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
For all things baseball, don't miss the Winter Meetings podcast Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast. And again, Tuesday mornings on West Coast Radio at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
Put the kids to bed, put on your shades, and crack open a cold one during Sports Report After Dark with Seven and Dan the Dick Warner. You can catch After Dark Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast. And again, Saturday.
Hello, everyone.
What's going on?
I caught Stacks off guard and everything. I went back to our hardwood segment because this is the hardwood on Wednesdays. That's Stacks. I'm Dick. We're going to talk some NBA, just things like that tonight.
NBA.
Happy you're here with us. This should be an exciting night. We're going to try and not even going to say it.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy freaking New Year, everyone.
In China, though, I do not believe it's actually the New Year. Is that correct? Am I correct?
That is correct. A couple weeks, yeah. Pretty sure.
I believe they're on
the calendar day at work, so pretty sure.
They're on the Shaping count. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I caught you off guard, Stacks, because we have the segments now within our within StreamYard.
Yes.
And, ours has none of the videos or anything in it. So and I switched back. It was like, oh, Hardwood, you guys are live. And I wasn't expecting that, so gotta see it on the fly. Gotta see everything on the fly. Did you want to talk about the depressing shit first? I really don't want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, we can hit on it. It's only appropriate. I think.
So, Hamlin.
Yeah.
I seeing a report now showing signs of improvement. I don't know why that's playing. Showing signs of improvement. Still in critical condition. Not a good thing. At this point, if it was a normal football injury, he's obviously awake,
Absolutely.
pretty much the whole time. So like, this is clearly a freak accident. And when we were covering it on Monday, I didn't want people to overreact to it because this is completely unprecedented territory, right?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. We've never seen anything like that. I mean, we have, but it's been years. And so.
And since it has been years, we've never seen anything like it because of like, obviously
definitely
fandom,
before our time.
Like national TV. That was a huge nationally televised game. So like, not only the guys on the field saw it, like millions of people saw it. So like, it's unprecedented for the NFL. And like, people were freaking out because like, oh, Roger Goodell wasn't going to start was going to start the game or something. Dude, do you think Roger Goodell was just like, oh yeah, that guy's definitely like gonna almost die? Like, no, he was like, oh, okay.
No, not at all. Not at all.
He must have passed out or got like concussion or something. That's all he thought. He was like, oh, it must be real.
I think everybody thought concussion at that point until you kind of watch it again.
Right. Because of the immediate, like how he fell.
Yep.
How he fell and everything.
Yep.
And if you've ever seen somebody get knocked out before, which I've seen a lot of people get knocked out before.
AKA Tua, you've seen it,
Yeah.
We saw it with Tua, kind of like that.
Well, I'll tell you something about sex. Have you ever seen anybody like in real life, like really like in a situation that isn't really loud, like at a game or something like that, like get knocked out, like as far as like they're out cold, like they are awake and then they're done? Have you ever seen it before?
Not quite like that, but I mean, I've seen hits like that, but then I've seen the staggerness, of players get up and kind of stagger to the sideline, but never knocked out cold. Like
just gone. Right.
Right.
There was a kid that we were playing JC's basketball, little kids basketball here. Right. And we were going off the trampoline or in the boxes and going up and dunking the ball. Like when we were before practice, we were being stupid and on a 10-foot rim, we were going up and dunking the ball. Right. And this kid goes up, dude, and his feet go out from underneath him. And he lets go of the rim from 10 feet up. He can't be more than 4'2", hits the ground, back of the head on the ground. Right.
Yep.
The creepiest sound you will ever hear is somebody forcing breath when they're passed out, because literally their body takes over in like a spasm, basically to make them take in oxygen, because their brain's just completely not. They're in left fieldsville, right? They're just
absolutely,
and so their body just takes over and goes, "Hey, you're going to breathe now." Creepy sound. I actually heard a dude from the Bills talking about how he didn't hear that, and it actually worried him because he thought like, well, if he gets knocked out, then like there's gonna be sounds coming from. There was apparently nothing. Like he just basically like he actually went dead because his heart stopped. Like he really was.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah. So this is just unprecedented. I didn't want people like freaking out about it, like just jumping the gun on stuff. Like, oh, they weren't gonna cancel the game. It's like, dude, those motherfuckers had no idea that dude died on the field, man. Like that doesn't happen. It's not normal stuff.
I would agree, but I think at the same time, would it have surprised me if, within that time frame, if they continued playing? Not necessarily. I mean, it
wouldn't have.
I mean, in this context, I mean, obviously they did the right thing, but it definitely wouldn't have surprised me if they thought at one point, yeah, we're gonna go back, and the 5-minute thing was real, the 5-minute stoppage.
Right, and like. If that's
the show must go on, man,
right. And how like only because I'm trying to imagine like the impact of those players on the field, because not only are they literally seeing a teammate and, obviously some of the guys didn't know him, probably like a lot of them, it's his teammate, it's their teammate, their brother.
Yeah.
Die. Like they were giving him CPR. Like, I don't think many people have seen that period. Like anybody else just die, just
correct,
having to be resuscitated, and let alone in front of 75,000 people and on national television, you know what I'm saying? And it's like somebody you're very close to. So the impact alone, I would imagine that they would just be like, no, fuck that. There would be just like, no, like it'd just have to be like a quit, disqualify thing, would have been the worst case scenario. But, and I think that tells you a lot about how chilling that probably was on the field, honestly.
I can't even imagine. Well, and they've talked about on various shows, but Stephon Diggs being able to try and rally them, during all of that, trying to get everybody ready to go. I mean, it's just that's a whole nother level that you've just never seen. Like
right.
to think you can go to that gear to be able to try and get them ready, it's absurd.
And I've heard the argument about like, well, I mean, we'll play for him, play behind him. This is a little bit different, man.
This is different.
When they're playing for guys, they're talking about a dude who gets a football injury, who breaks an ankle, who, you know, something like that. He's getting carted off. He's crying. That kind of thing's like, oh yeah, we'll go play for this guy.
Or can we be honest? Or maybe it's a teammate that has already passed, you know, and it's that new season or something like that, or a horrific injury, right? I mean, you saw that with the Steelers with Ryan Shazier, you know, things of that nature. Yes. You know,
right, and he immediately becomes the rallying cry, right?
Absolutely.
This is like these.
And then
guys
what's that dude? I guess I didn't mean to cut you off. What's that dude from? I can't think of his name, from Rutgers. They did kind of the same thing when he had that spinal injury. He kind of became like the mascot. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but
I can't either. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Yep. But
yeah,
anyway,
there's been a few. I think Shazier is a good example because that's like the one that I remember.
Absolutely.
I think some other guys. Jim Kelly recently, but he wasn't playing still. You know what I'm saying? Like he was
right.
He obviously had cancer and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I can't think of another one like that. But yeah, Ryan Shazier is a good example. But yeah, he was like he was awake like when they did that though too. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, his neck was he was like basically which is scary.
But he would right. No, that was I was watching that live. That was one of the more scarier things I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's just unprecedented stuff. I'm actually glad I didn't see it live, honestly, because I probably would have had nightmares about it.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see it live either. I caught it on Twitter and things of that nature. I didn't see it live.
Stacks, not a joke. I have a recurring nightmare. Happens about once a year where I'm on a football field and a dude gets like a horrific knee injury, like breaks it backward, bone comes out of the skin, that kind of shit. Like some real gruesome stuff. Recurring nightmare. Just from that shit. Can you imagine if I saw that shit live? I'd be like, oh, fuck.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah,
I saw a dude,
right.
I saw a dude one time.
Eric LeGrand, by the way, the kid from Rutgers. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, linebacker, right? Am I?
No? Yes. Defensive tackle. Yep.
Okay.
Played D tackle.
Somebody up the middle. The rough job.
Mm-hmm.
The rough job. Yep. Anyway, I saw a guy one time go for a fumble and underneath a pile, and I'm like on the ground already. Like I didn't actually fumble it, surprisingly, but like I'm on the ground already. And dude, this dude stuck his hand out to like put a hand over the ball and pull it back, right? And a dude landed on top of his arm as he had his hand on top of the ball and broke it in half. And like
broken.
I heard it for one, the actual bone break. I didn't really see it. And then the screams are the worst part. Like it's a grown man.
I can't even imagine.
It's like, yeah, it was rough, dude. Like I think it's probably why it's be real bad. I mean, this is even worse. Obviously, this is way fucking worse. That guy was still alive. He was gonna live through it.
Right.
So this is like, it's just unprecedented. I just didn't want people to overreact. You know what I'm saying? Like just to being like,
make sure you have all the info before you start going off about certain things. So I would agree with that standpoint, or with you from that standpoint. But at the same time, I wasn't completely shocked when, even though I do think they ended up doing the right thing, not finishing it, obviously, but the fact that the NFL probably had to, walk back their 5-minute break, right? Because it's the NFL, and we all know what the real importance is. But I'm glad, at least, on the face of it, they did the right thing.
Right, and I completely agree with you on that. When you first said that, I was like, yeah, dude, I thought the same thing. I was like, I wouldn't have been surprised. Like, they would have just played it off like they didn't know he was actually that bad, right? That's what they would have done. And then they would have made all their ad money, because that's a huge game on national TV. That's really the sad part, is they don't give a fuck, dude. Honestly, they don't. They don't give a fuck.
No.
Like if he would have died on the field,
machine keeps moving. Machine keeps rolling.
That wheel
keeps turning. Yep.
All them spokes are still fucking intact.
Absolutely.
But it gives me a little bit of pleasure to know that these guys are fucking, like Erica said, that how Goodell handled it. A lot of people, dude, he would have fucking played this game out. They were looking for every excuse not to play this game, and
not
literally
to finish this one. Yep.
It was just outcry.
And it took social media, and it took those coaches getting together saying, "Hey, let's call this,"
which came from their direct looking at the players. Like they were literally watching the players.
Absolutely.
Going, yeah, we're not fucking playing a game right now, dude. This guy almost like, this is their friend. Like this is not gonna. It's just not gonna happen. Like
right.
To get that, it would have been terrible anyway. It would have been like, do you know what I'm saying? Like who's hitting somebody after that? Like who's just gonna go up and be like, normal tackle now? Like
no way.
Back at it. Like what the fuck, dude?
Not even close. Yeah,
we agree. We're gonna move on, but we agree that they would have played the game, and that's really just the fucking really sad part. Is like
it is.
I mean, money is just lots of money and lots of stuff. Like
money makes the world go round, Dan. You know,
damn,
it does.
Isn't that fucking sad?
It is sad. But prayers out to Damar and his family, though. For real, I hope he, I hope he's able to, come out of this and be in a positive state.
All I'll say is, like, I hope that he's just injured.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that he's just
fair.
His ribs are broken and he has a punctured lung. That's what I like. That's the best case scenario at this point, right? I mean, if that happens, he never plays football again. That's the best case scenario.
So be it. Yeah. So be it.
He still has his life.
Absolutely.
Still has his mind.
The most important thing. 1000%.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Bill's locker room said that they, hey Erica, comment these in the thing, and I'll put them on the old screeneroo there. We can talk about them.
Yes,
I'll just bring you in here because I have the power. I got the power. Hey, that reminds me, Stacks. That reminds me, actually, we better get our music going.
Yeah, elevator music is missing.
It is.
Let's be honest, that sounds more like porn music than it does elevator music. Let's just be honest here.
This right here?
This is chill. This is chill vibes right here, Erica. This is how we do it on this show. You know what I mean?
It's very retro NBA. Yep. Sometimes Stacks raps.
Stacks, what are you doing?
Yep, he raps sometimes.
Whatever I want, Erica. That's the thing.
It must be a Cornhusker thing. I wouldn't understand.
Turn the beat up. Yo.
Eat that corn.
Yo.
Eat that corn.
Yo.
You know?
Yo.
The 402. I'm from the 402 in this.
Fucking going off the rails already. We're 17 minutes in, Stacks. It's always off the fucking rails. Why is my screen so small, Josie? She's
I
not
thought
watching.
you were moving
Why is my
on.
screen so small?
I wrote those things prior, and you said you were moving on.
No, not you. It's not your fault. The screen's too small. I'm gonna have to full screen it. Erica, you got it. Okay, Stacks.
Yes, sir.
First thing I want to go over. Fucking Donovan motherfucking Mitchell, bro.
Donovan Mitchell. 71 points, dude. 71 points.
I don't want to be that guy and say that we said that Donovan Mitchell was like top 4 or 5 player in the NBA, and I'm pretty sure we got scoffed at. Like there was some.
Yeah, there was some scoffage going on.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, because we were talking about the other thing, and you were commenting. I was just saying, like, when you comment, just do it in the actual comments, and I'll put them on here, and we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because only I can see the private chat.
Provides more interaction.
Right. And see, we lost our music because it's not looped. I got it. We're good now. Okay.
There we go.
Donovan Mitchell's 71. Okay.
71. Dan.
Will tried to like skim over this on Monday on the sports report.
Okay. Do tell.
Because they did it to he did it to his Bulls, and I don't think Will knew at the time that Donovan Mitchell had 71, and Will made a perfect point. Like his first reaction was, "There's nobody on Chicago that's going to guard that motherfucker," and I was like, "Pretty much. That's fair. Pretty much what happens.
That's fair. That's what you're seeing around the league anyway right now, Dan. There's no defense being played whatsoever anywhere.
Joe Sunmu was the guy who took him most of the time. Was it Ayo just Dosunmu? Their point guard?
Yes, Dosunmu. Yes, Dosunmu. Absolutely.
Yeah.
From? Where's he from, Dan?
I know this. Fuck. You would ask me that. I have a bunch of
It's close. Too.
Wichita State?
Actually, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. That makes sense.
Yes, sir. Chicago boy getting drafted.
Absolutely.
Anyway. Yes, sir.
He's good offensively. Okay. He's also like
he played well tonight. He's active in the passing lanes too, playing well tonight. I mean, he has good minutes. It doesn't always look sexy in the stat line, but he's earned his keep.
You can judge a lot of like actual potential in the NBA off of how much somebody's rookie cards are worth. Honestly, like that's an honest indicator. Yeah. And how'd you say his name? I say it Dosunmu.
Dosunmu.
Yeah. Okay.
Dosunmu. Yep.
His rookie cards are worth like he would be considered a top prospect.
Yep.
So somebody and the smart guys who make value of things, including talent, think that he's going to be a good player. He's not ready for Donovan Mitchell.
No, not at all.
Defensively,
I don't, there's not a lot of people that are ready for that. Let's be honest.
Who is? Marcus Smart, maybe, and that's stretching
Marcus
it.
Smart. Yep.
And Marcus Smart was trying to beat him up, and good luck with that.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen D Mitchell lately, but that dude's yoked.
Yep.
It's like
D Mitchell's ready, man. He didn't shoot the ball that well tonight in their win against the Suns. It was a close game. Chris LeVert, though, making a stake for his name. They think he is one of the top dudes that's going to be on the trade block here before the trade deadline, February 9th. So if that is the case, he's making a stake for for somebody to pick him up.
He's always been a great scorer. Like when he was in Brooklyn, he was a great scorer.
Michigan, good scorer. Did it.
But I feel like that's all he does.
Mostly outside. Yeah, and with the Nets too. I think people forget about his time with the Nets.
Right.
Yep, definitely a scorer. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. Look at that.
It is. Got a couple of
that's fancy. Cards. Yeah, I saw a few of my Dookies that you passed me in the chat on Messenger. Those were sexy.
Well, I got a whole box of them coming at you. Which reminds me, Erica and you, I need your guys' addresses for card sending.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Erica's going to get some Dodgers, probably all the ones that have left LA. It's just going to be ones who have left, which is a pretty extensive collection.
I was getting ready to say, Dan, in the pretty hefty list.
I mean, you got Trey Turner now.
Why do you do this? You just love to antagonize me.
That's really who I am. I mean, I'm going to send you some Dodgers players that are still on the team, which isn't very many, but it's enough.
Look, you're being a dick. Just because your fucking Yankees got Judge back, you think you're just badass.
I mean, he is the face of Major League Baseball at this point. Like that's basically just like getting Giannis to resign.
I mean, could you choke on his dick next sucking on it? I mean, come on, dude. What the fuck?
He's Giannis like of Major League Baseball, pretty much.
Baseball. Yeah.
He's just a freak. And
that's
like
fair.
He can carry a team, which who can carry teams in Major League Baseball? Like nobody carries teams.
I mean, but you realize once he got to the playoffs, he really didn't do shit, right? Like he couldn't hit the ball, couldn't do nothing.
Facing Cleveland's pitching staff and then the Houston Astros pitching staff, two of the historically best pitching staffs in Major League history in the postseason.
No, by the way, they're still in signs too, so
Houston's cheating.
Yeah.
So that's the start of it.
That's why I always call them the Trash Stros, because they will always be the Trash Stros to me now.
Not cheating, not playing.
In front of Josie though.
Oh, I say it. I try and say it.
I was just kidding. I was just kidding. I was just joking.
We're trying to. It's
I always say the Trash Stros.
We know you were joking, Stacks. You would say it in front of her too. It's all right. We get it.
I would.
Yes, I would. But yeah, they. I mean, if the only part of that, to get off subject for a second, the only part of the Astros thing that actually is offensive to me, or like is actually a big deal, is if they used fucking machines. If Altuve had the fucking Morse code thing stuck on him, like they really said that he did, which is a fucking great idea, by the way. If you think about it, like if you're gonna cheat, what a fucking idea! Like, it's a fucking great idea. It's brilliant. If they're doing it, I actually have some kind of weird respect for them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have some kind of weird
It's
respect
like
for them.
Whopping kind of in the NBA there, Dan. You know, if you can get away with it, man.
My point is, I played high school baseball one time for a whole season, and I went 0 for 26, Erica. I went 0 for 26. I struck out 18 times.
Wait, are you bragging right now? Because this doesn't sound like bragging.
I got 0 hits in 26 at-bats, which we played like 14 games, so that shows you how much my playing time was going too. I got an at-bat and a half a game. And struck out almost in every game. I struck out more than once a game and almost didn't have that many at-bats. But yeah. So I just know I know how hard it is to fucking hit a baseball in high school. Like these dudes had one pitch. If they had 2 pitches, they were like a fucking elite high school pitcher. Like that's how it is in high school.
No,
if you have a fucking 85 and a curveball that you can halfway throw, then you're a fucking stud.
You're a killer. Yeah.
And it's hard to hit.
Yeah.
It's hard to hit.
It is.
If they're stealing the signs, if I go up there knowing that the pitcher's going to throw a fastball, which I pretty much did because it's high school and you know he's going to throw a fucking fastball, like I still couldn't hit the ball. A lot of people still can't hit the ball, and those dudes were just crushing it. They knew all they needed was that half fucking second. Like Eric Boehm in the playoffs this year. Eric Boehm with Philly. Harper calls him over and goes, "Hey, he's talking about Lance McCullers. He goes, he's not lifting his fucking leg up enough when he's throwing the curve." And you could totally tell if you rewatch it. Like McCullers is just like taking a little step, and he's like, they all could see it. And all Alec Boehm needed was that one little hit. And he goes, "Oh, your knee didn't go up as far. Peace, dog." And he hit it like 480 feet, like on a rope. And it was like, oh Jesus, like these guys are fucking unreal. Like he just knew where it was at. He was just like, okay, that's straight, bam. And like that's so hard to do, even if you have the call. So like I don't even like take it away from the Astros. Like I really don't. Like yeah, they beat the Yankees. This is from a Yankees fan. They beat us in the ALCS doing that shit. But like everybody does it. As long as they didn't have the fucking things on them. If they didn't have the Morse code shit, then I don't even know what the problem is. Like that's part of the game. That's been happening forever. You steal signs. Change your fucking signs.
Sure, but if you did have equipment on you that's causing you to sign steal, that's where it becomes fucked up.
Yes, that's where I'm drawing the line at.
I mean,
I agree.
I understand the whole concept of like they're doing like the same, you know, like that you're gonna catch on to what they're doing. So like I understand that that's not technically sign stealing because it's just being observed.
Gamesmanship.
Yeah. That's like
but like if you're wearing a
signs.
machine, then yeah, like you're totally fucking the game and there's no need for it. Like that's ridiculous.
Here's what I don't get, Erica. Like to that point. Here's what I don't get. When they not cheating, not playing, dude. I have an MLB team called Not Cheating, Not Playing. It's the Astros. But if my whole point to that is like, I forgot what I was going to say, Erica. God damn it. No. To the machine point, what do they do this year? Or I think it was last year. Start pitch comm, where literally the pitcher and the catcher are wearing a radio signal that I'm pretty sure I could pick up with my fucking CB that I haven't plugged in like 4 years.
I mean, you probably could. Let's be honest.
How dumb is that? Like, oh, hang on. They were using machines and that's over the line, but let's put the fucking machine on the pitcher. So you can steal the frequency.
But then it's acceptable because at least they're giving you that opportunity to do it. So it's more fair, apparently, somehow.
You know, there's like a dude in the crowd that works for the Dodgers and the Astros. That has one of those little mini like fucking satellite dishes. And he just sits there and just picks up the signal. And then he like signs it to the third base coach. And then they just like they can just hear him talking. He's like, yeah, he's throwing heater again. And just sitting there with the little thing. Just picking up the frequency. Like, or he just has a radio and he's just like going through the AM channels. Just trying to figure out what's at. And he can hear like every other word. There's some like just
wait, I'm kind of picking it up. I'm getting it.
And the security comes over to him like, what are you doing, sir? He's like, I'm just listening to the game. Just picking up the game. They're like, sir, it's being broadcast from 100 feet away. He's like, yeah, just picking it up. Good and clear.
That'd be some shit, though.
Somebody tried to steal it. I think it's closed circuit, so I think it's just the two machines. but like there's still a radio signal there. There has to be. That's obviously traveling between two people. So like,
yeah,
it's
I mean, there has to be
pick-upable.
something, whether it's like a Bluetooth or something. There's a way they're connecting to be able to talk. So some way, like someone's gonna figure things out.
And you're a Major League Baseball owner with like unlimited potential resources, and you don't hire a guy to go, hey, can you fucking you can hack that, right? And he's like, yeah, sometimes. And they're like,
Sometimes.
okay, meet us July 17th at the stadium. We need to talk about your pay. What'll I be doing, sir? Oh, just listening. Just listening. Anyway, yeah, that's going on. Just like fucking Michael Jordan's fucking MVP trophy has a dick on it.
It has a winner.
Big old dick. See, that's how we get out of here. We just start talking about the Michael Jordan MVP
Just start
trophy
talking about
dick.
Michael Jordan and
That
his
fucking
Johnson.
chode. That choder.
That choder.
Chode Jordan. MJ Chode Jordan. With that. God, no wonder he had so much confidence.
Absolutely. Well, why wouldn't you if you're that hung?
Looks like a
Tell
fucking
you what.
looks like a roll of Italian sausage from the fucking deli. It's like a tube sock filled with wet sand. Just a big old hog.
Big old hog it is.
Big old hog on it. That's so weird though. If anybody missed our show,
yes. Go back and watch that segment if nothing else.
If everybody missed this show, I mean,
yeah.
Definitely go back and watch for me and Stax talk about MJ and the inevitable penis that is on that statue and the fucking just outrageous oversight of whoever fucking okayed that statue. You can see it from every angle.
You imagine Luka Doncic just putting that in his putting that in his trophy case in his basement, and it's just like, oh.
No, you know that they're all laughing at it too.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Ron was like, I don't want to win that thing again.
Yeah, no
Jordan's
thanks.
dick in my fucking
out.
room.
I'm out. Yeah, no thanks.
He's had all the Jordan lovers' dicks all over him his whole career, and he's got to deal with that fucking.
At
the end of it, when you win that MVP, you got to fucking deal with that one too.
Oh, sorry.
Will. I think Will should come on right now and just. Oh, he's on another show, so we can talk as much shit as we want.
Yeah, we can. No. Sorry.
No. Yeah, he needs to fucking. We're gonna have that. We're gonna do that. One of our shows is gonna be just committed to. I think we should just do it next week. Actually, we're gonna see if Will.
Let's do
we're
it.
gonna start. We'll start like after their show.
Yeah, right.
But then
we'll do that. Okay, fair enough.
We'll start a little bit late, maybe, and just put on the screen like, "Hey, we're gonna start at 9:45," and then we wait for Will to be done, so he's good and warmed up with his brain sports talk, right?
Absolutely.
And then we just fucking double team him with the fucking Jordan statistics and the LeBron, and we get a good, solid, heated argument where like one of us breaks our computer, and like
Dan, you've already confirmed the argument. Like it's a wrap. Like if we're talking overall player, it's LeBron.
Did you see the Cowherd thing where he talks about?
I did not. That I did not see.
Well, he doesn't really talk. He doesn't talk Jordan LeBron, but he basically says like, he says LeBron is the best player he's ever seen.
Yep.
Total package. Like he makes a really good point. He basically says like Jordan did a lot for the game. He was like the dude who was the quintessential like the Mamba mentality before the Mamba.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yes, 1,000%.
The mindset, the dominance,
and you and probably any other, and me and any other LeBron fan would say that's the one thing. Like you said in the chat today, that's the one thing he's missing. Is a killer mentality. Yeah,
and I don't think that's ever been most of like I know yours and mine. That's never been our argument. We're not trying to say that like
we're not trying to say he's. Yeah, we're not trying to say he's, that he's going to go in and, and just beat you up mentally like that. That's not LeBron, man. If anything, he's honestly like I love the guy, but he's soft mentally. He is. He's soft mentally, and I'll agree 100% with anybody who tells me that.
The only thing that makes him not soft well, he is soft mentally, but the only thing that he's been able to basically cover that up is because he's so fucking good, dude.
Yes,
he's
correct.
so good that he's really never had to like be exposed in that sense. He has been though, and little blips of time, obviously 2012 NBA Finals, things like that. Like he's been exposed to that. But like he's so good that he's been able to cover up the fact that he mentally is really not the strongest of athletes.
Fake toughness. Yeah. Mental fake toughness with him. Absolutely.
It's easy to have fake toughness when you're better than everybody else.
When you're better than everybody else.
When they can't stop you because you're so skilled and you're not even trying to kill him. Like if LeBron had Kobe's mentality or LeBron had MJ's mentality.
Oh my God.
He would have won 10 titles. He would have
tied
or been in the realm of Russell. He would have won all of those ones with the fucking Heat. So there's 4, right? Yep. He wins 1 or 2 with Cleveland before he leaves. So you're looking at 5. We'll go 5 on the low side. And then he goes.
You think towards the tail end of that first stint? Not in the beginning, right?
Tail end. It would be the last 3 years.
Yep.
He wins
Fair
like
enough. Fair
1
enough.
or 2. I even said 1.
Absolutely. Yep.
Like
1 would probably be fair. I would say 1. The first stint.
It's believable so he has 5 or 6 because it's believable that he wins the last 2 in Cleveland and then goes to Miami.
Boy, I don't even know though. I mean, granted that was a different type of play too back then, that first stint there with Cleveland, but I don't even know about that. Just based on the team he had around him there. I mean, it's like Luka right now. So I don't know. I mean,
garbage. Yeah.
Maybe one, but
let's just say he doesn't win one in Cleveland before he leaves, right? That's why he leaves.
That's why
he goes to Miami. Yep. If he has Jordan's mindset, exactly like Jordan didn't win one for 8 years before?
Absolutely.
Okay, so he goes 9 years.
7 or 8 at least.
He doesn't win one.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes to Miami, and if he has Jordan's mindset, he four-peats. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row.
Yep.
Not a doubt in my mind. He goes 4-peat. He breaks Jordan's 3-for-3 thing, right? The 3-3 back-to-backs.
Back-to-back. Yep.
Is a NBA Finals MVP in every single one of those. So he goes 4 for 4. That changes the whole game immediately. That's the whole.
I was gonna say, does he go to LA after that though? That's my thing. Thinking back on it, do you go to LA after that?
I think he goes back to Cleveland just because he does have the 4. And I think it's the same thing
because he has the 4, and he'd want to get one, and he'd want to get that one in Cleveland because that's just his mentality. So you'd want to get that one in Cleveland, and then after that, I don't know.
I think he felt like obviously he wanted to win the other 2 finals in Miami. But I think he felt like with the 4 straight appearances and the 2 titles, the back-to-back, he had solidified himself as like, I can fucking win. I can win championships, bro. Like it's not that fucking hard for me. Like
he figured it out. He figured it out. Yeah.
And then goes what, another 8 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
NBA Finals.
8. Yeah.
And only wins 2 of them.
2 of them, right? Yeah.
Out of the 8.
2 out of the 8.
So, like, if he
but
has
even that run though, that's unprecedented, and people don't give that enough credit. Like, what the fuck? Like, how many are doing that too? Like, and I'm not even about the whole. And I think I've said this before on the show, but I'm not about the whole Jordan LeBron GOAT debate because I was too young for Jordan, even though I saw highlights and stuff. I was too young for that. So, and I don't even like getting into that discussion. So for me, it's more of like, I don't hate it, but I'm just saying, like, from my standpoint, I look at it as MJ go to his era, LeBron go to his era, period. So they're both goats.
You can only judge a player from the talent, the people that they play against.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like there is a limit to that because if we're going by who they played against, Will Chamberlain is the greatest fucking player in NBA history.
True.
Statistically,
but as we've said, it's mailmen and
right. Exactly. Yeah. So like there's a limit to it, but like Jordan definitely played in an era where everybody was a fucking professional. I'm conceding that. I know that they were all grown men professionals. Like they were fucking really good. Okay. Yeah. Like I get it, but like, so it's not the same thing, but like, so Chamberlain would be the best. And statistically, LeBron's going to pass everything that Will Chamberlain did. I mean, not averages wise, but he's going to pass everything that Chamberlain
did. He's going to pass everything.
Everything that everybody did.
Yes, literally.
I don't think there's an argument any longer of statistically who the greatest player in NBA history is. I think it's already solidified. If you look at the actual numbers, the actual numbers, I don't think there's any argument because you don't have anybody who's in the top 30 in all 3 of those categories, and LeBron's in the top like what 13 in rebounding now. It's something stupid, like just from averaging that many for that long.
Yeah.
And he's not in the top 13. I think he's in the 20s or something like that. But, 6th
But
in
either
assists,
way.
and then he's going to break the all-time scoring record, and he'll probably end up like 3rd in assists.
At least.
Mark Jackson said it the best. He goes, "This man is going to be the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, and scoring is not what he does best."
Yeah. And that was my whole point. It's like, I mean, at the end of the game, I mean, we all know he can go to the rim and whatnot, but at the end of the day, like, he wants to pass first. I mean, that's his mentality.
Right. And it worked out so well because we had never seen a slasher like that before. I mean, you'd seen guys who were that athletic, you had seen guys who were that big, but the combination
Not a combination of that, no.
And being able to pass the ball out of it, that was like his thing. Mm-hmm. And like we had never seen anything like that. So he does compare closer to Wilt Chamberlain, honestly, because nobody had ever seen anything like Wilt Chamberlain.
Correct.
And nobody had ever seen anything like LeBron James. He happened that he was actually very good at basketball, on top of just being probably the most freakish athlete of all time.
Right.
So
well, and and we even talked, and I think we might have hit on it too on the show too, but it's like, I mean, he's doing this run straight through and not stopping. He's not going to play another sport. He's not taking, he hasn't taken any years off. I mean,
he didn't gamble and have his dad killed. Like that's it. There's he didn't have his dad killed because of his gambling debts, which is so fucked up. But yeah. He wasn't a degenerate gambler. He didn't not tip waitresses notoriously.
Stepping out on his wife, we can have that discussion. We can have that discussion.
We did have that discussion.
I know we did. I know, that's why I brought it up.
Yes, we can. Erica agrees. It is kind of. I mean,
hey,
like that's
whatever works.
Best way to go about that kind of situation, though.
Absolutely.
Right, and good for them. Like that's
vet
some
them,
fucking
vet them, lock it down.
They are in love with each other. If that's
absolutely they are.
I'm not saying.
Did you see him the other night on his birthday? The mom and the wife. I mean, they were just they were elated, man. Just elated. Like
you can tell that there's
I don't want that happiness. You know what I mean?
You can tell there's like this hilarious air of like the only two people in the world who have any power over LeBron James are those two. You can tell by watching their reactions to him playing. They're like, "Yeah, motherfucker, you're real fucking good." It's like, "Oh yeah, you're real good till you get back with me underneath my roof." Like, it's fantastic, dude. I love it. Like, because that's the only two people that have anything on him. Is like he gets to just walk around as LeBron James and tell those two. And like you can tell while they're cheering that's what it is. They're like, "Yeah, it's really good."
That's kind of the nature in regular life, if we're being kind of honest. In some ways,
right.
Maybe not every way, but at least the wife part for sure.
It is absolutely, and the mother part. It is. It's like it's inherently, and especially when it's magnified to that scale, like where literally like nobody is like more famous than when LeBron James is the most famous guy in most rooms. Would you agree? Like he's basically the most famous people in the world, and the only people who have anything on him, who make him a human being again, who's just LeBron James. I love it. And sitting right next to each other, just like good. Yeah, he's really good. We know. I birthed him or I married him.
Yeah, no doubt.
And they're clearly like,
appreciate you.
They tag team against him, but they just hate each other. I know we have control over him, but we have to use the control wisely. Yes, good LeBron, LeBron, have 50, good.
For sure.
Yeah. Anyway, absolutely. Will. This is me and Stacks calling you out for next week.
Next week, Will. Come debate it.
Anybody's just watching.
We're here, man. We are here. Come at
William
us.
Morgan calling
Freeman,
you out.
Come at us.
I'm going to find a belt. I have a belt. I got an old WWF belt. And whoever wins that melee, that Royal Rumble, is going to get that belt next week.
That slobber knocker. Who's going to win this slobber knocker, Dan?
It's LeBron versus MJ celebrity death match. We're doing it.
Let's do it.
So we can just get Will to the point where the only thing he has is free throw percentage.
Like earlier. Yeah.
We're going to go free throws. Will, come on. He's going to be like 6 for 6, man. We're going to be like, I guess. I mean, it's
to be fair, that is a nice point though. I have said for years that if there is a crack in the armor, it's the free throw shooting.
It's because he's what we just talked about. He is not mentally strong. He's not
I know.
mentally strong.
That's
player.
true, and it does go back to that too. So that's a fair point as well.
I know that
I guess it all kind of intertangles the fact.
I know that you know.
Mental toughness.
But I think a lot of people expect him to just be like that. When how are you expecting somebody to be like that? Like there are certain individuals who are just born like that. I guess
built that way. You know, and people think you're just like born that way, or like or you can learn it. But in reality, like you either have it or you don't. In my opinion, you know what I mean. You can take some aspects, little bits and pieces of it here and there in certain situations, but at the end of the day, if you don't have it, you don't have it. And he doesn't.
I would call LeBron a dog, but I would call LeBron a dog only because he's gonna dominate the game, and then he's gonna become a dog. Like he don't got dog in him. He never had.
No dog.
It's like his talent worked against him, though, too. That's all psychological. He never had to be a dog, dude. He was better than everybody else.
Everybody.
Always.
All the time. Yep.
Every single time. Jordan, Kobe, both of them had to fight and claw their way. The famous Jordan got kicked off his high school fucking basketball team.
Yeah.
That's a true story.
Man,
he actually
College would have been fun, though. College would have been fun. Do you think that would have helped him a little bit? I mean,
yes,
not to that extent, but I do. I mean, granted, I know everybody makes the comparisons of like, Miami was the college, was his college experience, so to speak. But it, and granted, back then, obviously he was that good, so it makes sense that he was the one, and he didn't have to do the one and done thing. But it just, thinking back on it, like, you think about that, like Kobe, like if he would have went to Duke or somewhere like that, or or LeBron to, probably Ohio State. I mean, let's be honest, it's probably Ohio State. So anyway.
Well, yeah, no, I completely agree. He had that thing where he got paid or whatever though. So if he actually would have went to college, he probably would have went to Akron. He probably went to Akron, and they would have fucking won a national title probably, or at least got to a Final Four. It would have been like a one and done, real quick, like almost
Elite
like
Eight. I could see an Elite Eight.
It would have been a Durant situation in Texas. Like it would have been the same thing. Like take that program from nowhere by yourself to prominence, and then
KD in college. Don't even get me started.
He was averaging like Shaquille O'Neal power forward numbers, shooting threes, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is going on right now?" He was like 25 and 13 in college.
That tall, Nike. I mean, at that point, you'd never seen it like that. You'd never seen a 7-foot guard like that in your life.
It's like go gadget Durant arms. Like,
absolutely.
Like he was fucking stupid. And the biggest thing about that, though, like as we're talking about it, is if LeBron goes to college. Think about mentally what that does. It makes him doubt himself for a second, which would have helped him in that mental aspect like we're talking about.
Well, not only that. Well, and I think maybe you're kind of alluding to that, and if you are, you can stop me. But especially in that first stint in Cleveland, when you went up against the Pistons and teams of that nature, I mean, I think that 1 year, might have helped him grow a little bit in that mental toughness.
Yeah. I think it would have at least entered his mind. He would have went, oh, I still have another level I have to go up. Like if these guys are beating me sometimes, like the guys in the NBA are definitely going to beat me. So I have to work harder or I have to be more of a dog to like beat them, right? Even if it wasn't true, because clearly it wasn't. He went straight in the NBA and was fucking dominated. Right. So like, I think that might have hurt him though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he was so good that it was like,
so good that it was.
He never had to have the dog to like, because he was just like,
I agree, and I think I agree. I think that hindered it for sure.
It took him 10 years to figure out how to shoot.
Yeah,
you go back and watch the 2005 Cavs games. It was.
I didn't want that. I didn't want that dude to shoot.
No,
are you kidding me? I didn't want him to shoot. For what? Like 10, 12 straight years. Drive the fucking ball in the lane, dude. Drive the fucking ball in the lane.
Why are you shooting fadeaway jumpers?
Why are you shooting? Why? But now it makes sense. You're getting older. You're trying to take that toll off your body, and it evolved, and he got better. But boy, that first, like you said, first 10, 12 years there. Whew,
it was
fucking ball, man.
rough.
And again, that goes back to that mental toughness too, because I think there were times. I mean, granted, great playmaker, everything, say everything up and down, but at the same time, that mental toughness to be able to say, no, fuck this, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. Drive it.
You aren't gonna stop me. Because you can't stop me.
Right.
So
you can't stop me.
And do you think? I mean, Jordan. Another factor with Jordan. Jordan played into him trying to do that shit though with the fadeaways and stuff. Like that was what he saw. I mean, Jordan was obviously his idol. Like, dude, Jordan was my favorite player growing up. Jordan was my favorite player. Like, I had all this bunch of fucking cards of his. I had fucking all of his memorabilia and shit. Drew pictures of him when I was a kid, like doodles and stuff.
For sure.
He was my hero at that point. Like,
absolutely.
And then LeBron came along and I was like, oh shit, this guy's like kind of like that. Like, but it wasn't the quite literally like the deity part. It's like there's like a aura. He's like Paul Bunyan. It's like fucking there's gonna be like goddamn fucking like a scrapbook picture book made for Michael. It's gonna be like he shot the ball 100 for 100 in a game. Had 619 points.
Yep.
He walked to a game from Chicago to Dallas. He walked before the game and showed up right before game time and scored 57.
It's that God complex.
What? No, he didn't.
Yeah. Right.
The Last Dance, by the way, Tony and I spent almost an entire episode, like what, a year and a half ago, like one of our first episodes. We spent an entire episode just shitting on The Last Dance because what a piece of propaganda bullshit that whole fucking documentary is, dude. Jordan's hinting he got fucking poisoned by the Jazz.
Yep.
He got a pizza. They had a pizza.
The pizza guy. Yep. I remember that. I watched it. Yep.
And the worst part is he actually believes it.
Believes that. Yeah.
He actually believes it. So what makes it not true at that point? He has the most number one, like he's first perspective. So who's telling Michael Jordan it's not true? Nobody's going, hey Mike, I think that might have not been, you might actually have the flu. Nobody's telling Michael Jordan that.
No.
He puffing on a cigar like,
yeah,
have that guy killed, and somebody would kill him.
Unless you want to get clocked like Steve Kerr.
I will punch you like Steve Kerr. I will take you out in a I will have you killed like my dad. That is fucking. Oh my good God. Yep, there you go.
There it is.
I will kill you like I had my dad killed for my gambling debts.
Jesus.
That is completely conjecture. And a theory. And Josie had to step in here. Nope. She didn't. Your hair looks nice. I see you back there. I was going to say,
I was pulling that down because I didn't realize why that was up.
Gotcha. Are you listening to the conversation?
I just popped in. We just finished our show.
Will needs to get on here real quick because we just do this right now. We just called out.
He said he might come over. He was hungry too, so
we better give him a week to prep. We better give him a week to prep. We have our case.
It's part of the thing. Will, let's do this next week, man.
Let's do it next week because
next week it gives us something to.
Make
what
sure
were y'all talking about?
Absolutely.
We're gonna do. We just called.
Where's LeBron?
Yeah, we just called fucking Will out to come on the show.
See, the problem is we have a show during y'all show.
I know. We're going to start late. We're going to start late. We're going to run it before and everything. We're going to advertise it as the showdown after your guys' show. So Will's going to be nice and warmed up. He's going to be into his sports talk. And we're going to fucking it's going to be a mutiny.
We need to do something like Wild West, like photo shoot where we're all like standing and I got I'm ready to go. You know what I mean?
We all wear like
guns cocked, Josie.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I just had to come in here and say, because Dan says I never do this, so I got to come in here and say Jalen Green got that dog in him.
Yeah, he does have the dog in him. Jalen Green.
He does.
Jalen Green's kind of a LeBron case, though. Like we were just talking about, like he might be a little bit too talented for his own good at this point. Like he's like Wish John Morant. He's like if you bought John Morant on Wish.
Man, Josie, don't you wish you guys still had Christian Wood though?
I would.
Yeah.
See, Dan or Stacks, my issue with that entire team is I wish we had one really good vet. Dan wants to bring up Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon has not been on the team in 2 years.
Right. He was never that guy either.
He was never that guy. He was the guy behind Harden.
PJ Tucker was that guy.
PJ Tucker was that guy.
Tucker was that
Christian Wood was that guy.
Christian Wood was still young too.
There's another one that is not coming to my head right now.
Pat Bev.
Pat Bev was that guy.
Pat Bev was that guy.
Like any of those guys, I would. This rumor of Harden coming back, honestly, I would take any of those three guys over Harden.
For sure, at this point in his career,
it's not even like. Play.
But at the same time, as long as he's still getting to the line, he can be effective. He had 28.
Stacks, he's talking about. I know what she's talking about. She's talking about fucking him as a leader.
Yes.
Oh, I got
It's not even about play at this point to me. Honestly, I think our team is not bad. Like we were talking the other day on the Sports Report, Dan.
Just young.
You got Jalen Green. You got Kenny Porter Jr. It's young. That's the biggest problem. The team is super young. And I do think we need a new head coach. We need a new head coach.
A lot of youth there, for sure.
I'll take 37-year-old James Harden over PJ Tucker at 37, whatever he is right now. Like, I'll take James Harden on the floor, like, over any of those guys anytime. But
yes. There's no argument for that.
We're not going to be going for that when he goes back. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to be a shell of himself. He kind of already is.
He already is a shell of himself.
Like Stack said, he's going to the line and stuff all the time because he still knows how to draw fouls, but like, he's not Houston Harden with 37 a game.
No.
Obviously.
And the other thing is, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised Houston even dances with the idea with the way he left Houston. He left Houston dirty. Like, said, I'm not playing. Trade me, damn it. Like,
it could be about money, though, Josie.
It could be. I don't see Houston having a whole lot of money to give him. So I don't think
they make him money. He makes them money coming back because they get ass in the seats because people loved Harden regardless of what he did there. I mean, the hookers loved Harden. The
strippers,
the cocaine dealers, and the Jimmy John's delivery guys loved Harden.
Jimmy John's, he says.
The steakhouse owners loved Harden. The prostitutes loved Harden.
Well, like we were saying, other than Vegas, Houston's got some of the best strip clubs in the world.
I feel like it just is a gigantic strip club.
It basically is.
Like there's no building over like 2 stories. It's all like roof parties and like an LED lights. That's all it is.
However, if they can get into that 2 spot in the draft this year, go get Scoot fucking Henderson, dude. Go get that motherfucker. I don't even care. Put my decks all on the table. Like, I'm throwing all my chips in. Give me Scoot Henderson.
See,
right now.
Personally, I think we've got the talent. We need that veteran. We need one good, savvy veteran to come in and show this team how to really win and how to make the playoffs.
That's fair.
Well, you have nobody defensively.
Yeah.
Everybody in the NBA is talented right now. Everybody's talented, but it's just how do they put it together? And like Josie, like you said, like with a coach, they probably are going to have to. I mean, they're going to have to change coaches. Like not one coach is going to go through this whole.
But I think for where they're at right now, I mean, they don't need to. They don't need to go out there and get that. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
He is, but I mean,
for where they're at right now. Absolutely.
Silas is 42-142 as a record as a head coach. That's crazy.
Known as a player's coach, known as an assistant for a long time. He's drills guy. Like he's the guy that runs the drills in practice and goes, "Hey, this is how you technically win an NBA game," because that's what point Houston is at. Just because they don't really know how to put it all together, and defensively they're fucking horrid. They're horrid, like most teams are in the NBA right now.
Absolutely terrible.
But yet, had a close game. But this is the other thing: they get blown out by crummy teams, and then have close games with teams like LA, which I realize right now LA is a shell because LeBron is doing all the work.
Everybody's talented.
Unfortunately so. That wasn't supposed to be the case. That wasn't supposed to be the case, but
how did
he continues.
I not like re-enter the fucking Dick of the Week segment so that I could bomb on fucking Anthony Davis for like 3 minutes about how you were playing at a fucking, we thought we had the Pelicans, fly Pelican. We thought we had fucking Anthony Davis from the Pelicans back, and just does the same shit, dude. Like how did we not see that one come in? I saw it.
We did. We were talking about it before the season even started, Dan, on Sports Report, about how AD is great, and him and LeBron together are probably one of the best duos in basketball right now.
Good luck getting them together.
But the problem is the chance that AD gets hurt somewhere in the season is as assured as death and taxes.
I wish
that's like Zion right now, though, for real. He's out.
He's another one. He's another
out for 3
one.
weeks right now.
And I'll even give you another one. Lonzo seems to be very injury prone.
That might not be good for Lonzo. I don't know. I mean, the reports are saying he can't even go up and down stairs.
I've heard. Yeah, I'm not sure he plays again.
Stairs, man.
I think the Zion AD thing though are two completely different things.
It's two completely different things.
AD just has a lot of quit in him, and AD got paid, and AD doesn't really want to play that much anymore. Zion wants to play, and Zion's body is not ready for that impact that he's putting it through. Is basically I think what's happening. Like AD is completely fine. Physically, that motherfucker is fine. He's hurt up here all the time. He's always hurt in here. There's always something, like he's always just thinking about rolling his ankle. Like
he wasn't.
Whilst thinking about rolling his ankle, guess what happens? He rolls his fucking ankle because he
just wants to go and watch the Packers, Dan. That's all that is.
It's like he can blow.
He wasn't too hurt to make that cameo in the new House Party movie. He wasn't too hurt for that.
No, he can wear a walking boot on set. They'll allow it.
Well, yeah. You don't have to run up and down anything. He'll be fine.
No, you can just have your unibrow and
they can wheel you in there. You know what I mean? They can wheel you in there to do that.
And he ain't fucking being into any movies if he's not in LA with LeBron. He's not being in one movie. Like who's like, you know who's a marketable star? Anthony Davis.
Yeah, you ain't in Space Jam. Yeah, you ain't. Yeah.
Anthony Davis and his weird eyebrows, because that was a good idea. Like, and then he shaves it. Clearly, straight razor shaves that fucking bushy ass thing. And it comes back grown at a different angle, looking worse than before. And we're like, all right. He was like, I can't control it. And they were like, all right, let's just roll with it. We just roll with it.
And that's when he went and got that thing insured for thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. And had it like he had like little collagen injections to talk.
Go get a wax, man. Go get a wax.
Go get a wax, buddy. And then you have millions of dollars. Like, take care of your eyebrows. Like it's not like he's fucking the dude from Santa Claus. What is it?
Well, at the same time, Dan, that became part of his identity, though.
Yes, he's not Tim the Toolman Taylor, where he wakes up the next day and he's got a beard like fucking in those Santa Claus movies. It's not really that hard to keep up with, man. Like, are you just not? What are you doing? What are you doing in your free time, Anthony Davis? You're playing too much fucking Modern Warfare.
I know, Anthony. I can give you some lessons on how to trim a unibrow. I have to trim mine about every couple of days. So.
He's got I know, man. Me too. It's
every couple of days.
Coming in there.
I got one going.
Thick. I got hit with a beer bottle in the face by an ex-girlfriend. Not a joke. See that right
Recently?
there? Oh no. This was like 5 years ago.
Whoa.
Can't grow hair right there anymore. So every time I pluck right there, all the hair comes out. It looks like I'm trying to be John Morant.
So funny story, Dan. I have also taken a beer bottle to the head.
Ooh, it's rough, right?
24th birthday, I was at an EDM show watching Cascade, tripping on some substances. And
I guess I'm just too nice. I've never got hit in the face with this.
And well, this is the story. So I'm standing there, I'm watching, coming up. The show is ending, and all of a sudden, I look up, and the bottom of a Dos Equis bottle cracks God. Here. Thrown from across the stage.
The base.
The base of it hits me right here. I, again, am on some questionable substances at the time. And I go down. My brother's buddy is next to me, catches me, starts to pull me off the floor. It's like, we got to call 911. We got to call. And I'm like, fuck that. I am not spending the night in the ER on this.
Right.
And I'm telling you, man, every time this throbbed, the wave that went through my body was insane.
It was like waves. It was like the waves of depression leaving you. They were just
and to the point, like, that's still a soft spot in my head.
Yeah.
I bottom of the bottle. Probably the beer was probably like a 3/4 or quarter still full.
So about a pound and a half glass projectile.
My brother will tell the story. He was like in the center of the stage between and like watch the bottle, track the bottle, just like
slow motion
smash.
Oh wow!
Slow motion right into your face. Yeah, I just said something really wrong, and I got swung at with it, and it broke. It broke on my like it was the side of it broke on my. And I had broke one over my head before. I mean, just like myself, right? Because you know, I don't know if you guys ever did that, but I would just get drunk and like you tap the beer bottle. You tap the beer bottle. I used to take shots of whiskey through my eye too. But you tap the beer bottle on like
that doesn't surprise me.
On a metal pole, and you just break it. So like you don't break it, but like you loosen the glass, and then you can literally just go and hit yourself, right? First time I ever did it, couldn't hear anything for like 20 minutes, just ringing in my ears, beep, like really loud. And then I got hit with that, dude. I didn't get stitches, but I had a piece of glass in my eye for like 2 days. Like it was lodged in there. It was up there. I still have scar shit up there.
I never went and got it looked at, but I probably took I probably have a crack in my skull from that.
There's a small lesion at least. It might be creating scar tissue that might be touching some important part of your brain. It might make a whole lot of sense at this point. No, it doesn't. I forgot where Houston.
Yeah.
Houston.
That's what we do now, Stacks. We talk about the fucking Houston Rockets on our team.
We do. Houston Rockets, man.
I had it right here, Stacks. I had it on my list. I had
the teddy bear. Houston Rockets.
Houston Rockets. Yeah. Had it on the
Jalen Green.
I say, hey, like I said, Jalen Green got that dog in him.
He does.
He does.
If the Rockets can get a couple of good picks in the next couple of drafts, and again find that good vet.
I'm telling you, Josie, if you haven't seen highlights or you haven't watched anything, Scoot Henderson is who you want. Victor Wembanyama, cool, but you know what? At the same time, we've seen this before. Who would you rather have, a big or a guard?
Guard.
Greg Oden. I mean, let's be honest.
Kristaps Porzingis is a perfect example. That's what Victor Wembanyama reminds me of. Is Kristaps, which isn't a bad thing. I like Kristaps. Kristaps is a good player.
I do too.
I'm just gonna go over some scores real quick. Let's hit the Houston score real quick, just as we're on the subject. They didn't play tonight.
They did play tonight.
Oh, they're just not in the winning category, so I can't see them.
They lost.
They got beat by the Pelicans. Fly Pelican.
See, there it is, right there. You got beat by the Pelicans with no Zion. And
hey, they're deep though, Josie. That's not a real surprise.
Yeah, but then you give teams like LA with LeBron, which
that's because whoever plays Houston thinks it's an off night. I mean, let's be honest.
They do. They go in there going, "Hey, all we got to do is play normal basketball. We don't have to do anything exceptional."
Yeah,
and we're getting a W.
You're not wrong.
There's
a reason I am so fanatical about my Stros, because it's the only winning team Houston's got, and it's the only winning team Houston's probably going to have for a few years.
I mean,
that's fair.
They need to bring the Oilers back. Like the Texans just need to drop the whole cool logo.
Titans will never sell that stuff back to Houston. They will not. Titans own all the Oilers, everything.
That's crazy.
I would want it
because
back.
It was a move team. They moved the team from the Houston to Tennessee, so they took all that history with them.
Yeah, such a good
like the Baltimore
mascot,
Colts in the middle of the night, you know.
Yes, such a good mascot though, for real. Like the Oilers and the colors. The powder blue and the red. I own an Oilers jersey.
So it's called Love. It's called Love Ya Blue. After blue is what that color is actually called. Love Ya Blue.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's from Houston. What is that? Some kind of Houston culture or something?
What is it? Is it the running back we had, Eric Moon. They used to scream, "Love you, blue," when he would run. That was the thing.
Okay,
so that color.
I didn't realize that.
Love you, blue.
We obviously
I may be off on the player. It goes with the
Earl
player.
Campbell.
Maybe it was
That's what I was
Campbell.
thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Earl Campbell.
That's fair.
Earl Campbell was like a defensive tackle. That
honestly, history of the Oilers, that's more my dad's era. So,
yeah,
I mean, the Oilers left when I was in '98, so I was only 10 years old.
Earl Campbell was like your modern day Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah,
like not as fast.
Warren Moon.
Warren Moon. Yeah, I have a Steve McNair Oilers jersey. Which
well, and that's actually
cheap.
The Steve McNair era of the Oilers was actually they were already in Tennessee. Remember, they played under the Oilers name in Tennessee for 2 seasons, I believe.
Yeah, and he was on one of those teams. He was a rookie on one of those teams. So that's the jersey that I have. So it's not an actual Houston Oilers, but it is an Oilers franchise.
But I know this is
R.I.P. McNair too, by the way.
But real quick, I did hear the Texans are looking at doing a uniform change, and one of the colors they're talking about is something close to that powder blue. They can't use that blue because it's owned by
I was going to say that'd be copyright.
So
or whatever.
But I feel like the blue because the Titans use the navy and then the lighter blue, but I feel like even that lighter blue is not the same color.
It's not.
It's a little dark.
Not.
It's a little dark.
Not. The Love You blue is very like.
It's almost like your shirt.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan. No, that's about perfect. That's super close to what it is.
Which we would call powder blue, like in Los Angeles, the Chargers would call it their powder blues, but it's almost like it's got a little bit more of a, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird to talk about color because people see color completely different. Like Stacks sees that color on your shirt different than I see that color on your shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we don't really know like what
Guys,
and then Josie's colorblind. So
I'm shade color, not colorblind. I'm shade colorblind. So I have difficulty distinguishing different shades of colors.
Really? I just made a guess.
So like red and fire red, and really when you get into like different shades of purples, like that really trips me out.
Makes so much sense with your hair now.
Fuchsia?
Makes so much sense. Makes so much sense.
You know what I mean?
Fuchsia?
Yeah, fuchsia.
Fuchsia's a great color. You know, mac and cheese used to be the old Crayola crayons. There's mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
I remember that.
You always had your parents get the 128 crayons, and they
absolutely.
You don't need the 128 crayons.
Yes,
sharpener in it. Like you weren't fucking cool unless you had the 64 or the 128. If you had the 128, you were balling. You were straight.
You were the popular kid in the class.
You showed up for the first day of second grade with the 128. You were the man.
The man. Like you were trading. You were trading those things for cigarettes.
Ladies were macking. You know what I mean?
Trading those things for cigarettes and dates. Like I'll give you metallic silver.
Violet or whatever.
Metallic silver for your chicken nuggets. And people were just taking that deal all day long. And then you just go in their desk after they leave the classroom and take the metallic silver back. No, I'm just kidding.
Or you do
that and some gel pens, man. That and some gel pens.
Gel pens. Those were the thing too. Gel pens.
Has to be the Bic.
Yes.
The ball.
Big gel.
Yeah, because any other gel pen busted and leaked.
Yes.
If it wasn't the Bic, you were a mess.
Or it skipped, like there would be the little skips in the fucking gel at the end. So you have to you'd get nothing out of it and then you have to shake it. Yeah, and it'd blow up somewhere. Off story, kind of on the same subject. I found when I was like fucking in 4th grade, you used to go into like other people's rooms. Like you had your room like where you were in most of the day, right? But like we used to have to like switch rooms for some reason. I can't remember why, like to take a different class or whatever. Anyway, I fucking opened this desk one time and there's a fucking Stretch Armstrong in it. You remember Stretch Armstrong, the fucking things?
No
was
way.
Inside this kid's desk, right? And I'm sitting there. I've never seen one before, and I'm trying to fucking play with this thing. I'm like, dude, I'm so interested. I can't fucking keep my hands off of it. And I'm trying to play with this thing in the middle of class, right? And I stretch its arms so far that it blows up inside the desk, fucking explodes inside of the desk, like up underneath it. And I just blamed the kid that was there. Like I was like, I don't know, just blame. I didn't blame the kid, but I was like, I don't know, it just blew up, and they believed me. Totally bought it. Pretty sure the kid got in trouble for it, and I was like, well, shouldn't have had it in your fucking desk, idiot. Like, don't put it there for me to play with.
That kid was planning on
dumbass.
stealing it. He was taking it home. Like, that was the plan. He was stealing.
Absolutely. And he was probably devastated. Like, that was his toy. And I just like took it and I was like, stretch as far as you can. And it just blew up in the fucking desk and shit. What an asshole. I was a young asshole. Good thing I'm not an asshole anymore, Josie. Just blame it on the kid. Like, no, I was in there. It just blew up. I don't know. Because Stretch Armstrongs have a problem with blowing up. They should be recalled. I stretched his arms too far. Anyway, now we're talking about Stretch Armstrong. Yeah, back to the scores. 119, 108. A Zion-less Pelicans team. The lonely Pelicans.
Not even close. Not even close.
Alperen Sengun, your guys' center. I told you this the other day. He's a good player. He's legitimately offensively. He is a really good center in the he can be a really good offensive center in the NBA. He's defensively he's terrible because he's like Dirkish as far as like he's going to get dominated physically. These guys are just going to dominate him.
They just get posterized.
I mean, went 3 for 3. He had 13, 5 and 4. Kevin Porter, who shows up when he wants to, had 11 points. He had a minus 23 plus minus. That's garbage.
What's Smith have? What did he finish with?
Jabari Smith finished with 14 and 13.
14, 13.
Jalen Green had 16 points on 5 of 15 shooting in 32 minutes. That's rough.
That's
a rough day.
You got Usman Garuba off the bench and fucking all these guys.
You're right, Dan, played. In the fact, like, every one of our games, offensively, 100+ points, usually. Every single game.
That's everybody.
Well, not only that, they're also young, too, so it's got that AAU type mentality.
Yeah, so it's just score. But, right. Dan, I mean, there's been some games I've looked at where they're scoring 120, 110, 115, but then the other team's scoring 130, 140 because, like you said, their defense is non-existent. No one plays defense on that team.
They allowed 50 points in the paint, which isn't terrible, but they
man, that was the case the other night for the Boston Celtics against the Thunder. When the Thunder put up 150 on them. I mean, dudes were literally just walking into the paint almost.
Against the Celtics?
Yeah. Against the Celtics defense. They were just walking into the post, put up 150.
That's interesting because, I mean, who do they have outside Robert Williams who's even going to play any defense inside? I mean,
well, and he just came back recently too, and he's not playing bad, and they need to put him back in the starting lineup. They haven't quite got to that point yet, but yeah, you're right, Dan. They really, outside of that, they don't.
And Robert Williams is kind of terrible. Like, he's just a big athlete who they're just playing. Like, I don't think he's really that skilled. He's just out there to play defense. And at this point, who wants to be Clint Capella? You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to be Clint Capella? Like, Robert Williams just Clint Capella. Oh yeah, sorry, Josie. Yeah,
well,
you know all about that.
Clint Capella is going to get his money though. I mean, that's not a bad career.
There's a vet I wouldn't mind having back in Clint Capella. He would be a great leader for that team.
He's second in the NBA in rebounds right now. Averages 12 rebounds a game. Takes lobs like it's his fucking job. Just takes lobs.
Underrated though, Dan, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying is Clint
underrated in my opinion.
Clint on the Houston team could be a star right now. He could be an easy star right there.
I don't know about star.
He wouldn't be a star.
Houston.
Still not. 14 and 11. 14 and 12.
That's not necessarily star category. But
no, that's not. It's not.
Would he be effective and be a good leader? Yeah.
He'd be the best player on the team, I think, outside of Jalen Green.
He could be a number 2 for sure.
Luka, did we obviously haven't had a show for a while, Stack, so we didn't get to go over 60-20.
I was going to say, have y'all talked about that yet?
No,
I don't know a lot. I don't talk a lot of basketball because that's just not like if it's not the Rockets, I'm not following it. And right now, I'm not even following the Rockets because they garbage.
So basically, no ball.
Basketball no ball. Like basketball, ever since like Kobe is not in it anymore. Kobe was my dog. Like
Kobe was a dog.
I'd make a Kobe joke, but I don't think it would fly.
God, I wish I had Will's buzzer right now.
That one really spiraled out of control.
But basketball, like, just until you get to the playoffs, it just doesn't catch me.
I love it.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, I do.
We love. That's what we're here. Yeah.
I get it. Like, and I'm that way. Like with baseball. Like, even though I'm not watching every game throughout the year, I'm following along.
Actively following. Yep, for sure.
I'll give you this about the NBA. This is what the normal regular.
But you're not wrong, Josie. I mean, playoff is when it starts picking up. Anyway,
the playoffs are my favorite. Yeah. I think the playoffs are my favorite playoff sport.
Yep.
My favorite thing to watch.
Period.
But, even during the regular season, I get it. I get why people are like, yeah, they don't play any defense. They're playing defense, okay? But like, there's a real weird like. They're conserving energy, but they're trying, like, these guys play for too long. There's like there's a big differential in like the really good players compared to like the average players.
We all know the season really starts at the end of the All-Star break. I mean, really,
that's when they start making moves to get into playoff seeding and stuff like that.
Yep.
Like, and the first half
start being made, so teams are more
along. Honestly, just limp in there.
Basketball and baseball, same thing. Like, it's just too long. They're like, and we've had this discussion many times, Dan. I get why it's that long, especially in baseball, with the money and everything like that. But like, I think it's just too long.
I agree with you about the NBA. They need to cut the NBA out 55, 60 games. So there's no reason to play 82, really. I mean, you have averages.
You could have 72, I think. But I mean, but you would still have the same conundrum that you're in. But I don't think they go anywhere below 72.
I don't think they will either. But I think they should. I think they should go about 60.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I
still
agree
might be too many. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's still a lot. Like even college basketball is long enough, and obviously they play the tournament, so like you could end up playing about 37, 38 games in college, which is like a lot. That's quite a few.
Well, the thing is I find college more interesting because of the way they do it. Just the two quarters. Like, I find college basketball more exciting.
It's two halves of a whole. Yes,
two halves of a whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
But honestly, baseball too. I think if you cut that down to like 100 or so games instead of 150, it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's too damn much.
Fair. Yeah, no, that's fair. Because I'm kind of the same way with baseball that you're with basketball, Josie. It's too much.
Because it's kind of the same thing, Stacks. Like, until the All-Star game, and really with baseball, it's really September. End of August, early September. When I really start, and that's when the games start coming on my TV. That's when I start putting games on my TV. Is around that time, because now I'm like, okay, playoff seeding is becoming a thing. Like, who's gonna make it? And it's the same thing with basketball, because you said it. Come after the All-Star game, because I'll watch the All-Star game. And after that, I'll start following teams. I'll be like, okay, who's doing what? Who's looking like they're going to the playoffs? Is LeBron going to be in the playoffs?
March until August is prime time.
That's his time.
Yeah. He's still imagine that, just still doing it in the first half, and everybody else is limping along.
Well, absolutely. I gotta say, I was listening to Nick Wright, and I don't know how you feel about Nick Wright, Dave.
I shared that video that you're talking about right now.
The one about his this was actually on this was actually on my TikTok, because you sent me because you sent so many TikToks to our group chat of Nick Wright. He now comes up on my TikTok organically.
Stack sent that to me.
I did.
Me and Stacks are underground Nick Wright fans.
So he now comes up. Well,
I don't hate Nick Wright.
I know you do.
So this is my thing. He talked about how LeBron says he wants to play 7 more years, and why Nick says, he's like, that's insane. Like, that's just crazy. But you look at what he's doing in year 20. He just had 2 40-point back-to-back games in year 20.
If there's somebody who need to be tested for PEDs, let's be honest.
He's doing things that should not be possible. He should not be possible for him to still be playing like he's playing at year 20. So, feasibly, there's no reason he couldn't be playing in 7 years.
No. especially with how he changes his style, dude. Think about how he changes his style and he can adapt.
And not just changes his style, but changes his how. I also saw something the other day. The man spends $1 million a year just on recovery.
As he should. As he should. Are you kidding me? Like, imagine the miles on that. I mean, really.
So many minutes.
So many minutes on that.
A species' success will not be judged on its strength or virility, but be judged on its adaptability.
Well,
so he just adapts to everything. He was literally
he's been playing ball since he was 5, 6.
At least he basically came out of the womb.
The
doctor caught LeBron's first
came
assist.
out of Gloria's cooch and he dunked it.
First assist was to the doctor. He threw it up to the doctor, and the doctor threw him a lob. Back to while he was still in the local corner.
What happened was the doctor delivered him. The doctor then threw the ball up in the air, and LeBron popped out.
And just dunked it. Just dunked it back into Gloria's vagina. It was an alley oops.
By the way, LeBron, Delonte West is your daddy. I'm sorry.
Delonte West is your actual father. He was a 12-year-old hobo. He was a 12-year-old hobo. Gloria was a little drunk. Imagine that.
She was a little snockered.
Gloria was a little snockered. Josie, do you remember? You definitely don't remember this because I didn't really bring it up that much. I had a theory for a while, and I did it on the show, that LeBron has like a Brazilian set of doctors that go down to Brazil, and he has a whole lab down there where they just take his DNA and try and figure out how to beat drug tests.
It's like Kobe going overseas.
They just try and get it. They just try and figure out how to beat drug tests with his DNA. He has he employs that $1 million isn't going to anything but paying 7 scientists to just sit in a fucking lab all day long and be like, well, what if we mix it with rat
Tinker
semen?
This here.
What if we mix it with rat semen? Does it rat semen do anything? And they're like, nothing, kills all of it. They're like, all right, move on to raccoon semen. They're like, all right, all the semen, yeah. They're like, they're just trying to figure out how to make him fucking superhuman. They're like, I think we actually figured out his immortality. That's what's going on.
How long till Bronny is in the league? 2 years?
2 years. He's got at least 2.
At least, I don't think, well, depending on what he does college-wise, if he goes, that also plays into that. But he'll be one and done regardless.
I don't see him going to college.
I don't either. No, I don't either. I don't think he will. I think he's just entertaining it because why not?
Yeah, but him and his
You're
dad
at that stage in your life.
Dad want to play together.
Oh, no doubt, and I think it'll happen too.
So
who's more? There isn't another more prominent father-son duo that have played together for sure. I wouldn't even say there would be. I mean, obviously we had Farrell. This is all speculation. Yeah, Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr.
batted in baseball. Yeah,
they batted back to back.
I mean, I was thinking you were talking basketball.
No, there hasn't been.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Let alone the Goats kid. It'll just be such a weird thing because it's it will happen in golf. Charlie Woods will be on the PGA Tour when he is 19 years old. Probably he's gonna fly through everything, and Tiger will still be playing on the actual PGA Tour. He'll be getting into the
running into trees and
I mean, Tiger
he'll be
drinking while driving the car.
He'll be high on Vicodin and drinking whiskey while he's driving a car with 2 hookers in it, and they'll just be simultaneously taking turns on him while he's driving, and then Charlie will be in the back. And Tiger will be like,
one of those hookers will be Charlie's caddy.
Exactly.
Yeah, we gotta get to hole 9. What are you doing?
One of the hookers.
Yeah, we gotta get to hole 9.
One of the hookers speaks up, and they're like, "Should your son be watching this?" And Tiger's like, "Let him learn, like I learned from my father. Like he learned.
Wax on, wax off.
Like he learned from his father." Yeah, they're just real weird stuff. Josie, I've never told you this before. Did you watch any the Tiger documentary on HBO? It's just called Tiger, I think. It's fucking great. Did you?
I should watch it.
You'd love it.
I have HBO.
You guys both love it. It's so good, dude. This guy was an absolute fucking animal, dude. There's hookers on the fucking documentary talking about what he did with other hookers. They're literally he would just rotate in about 20, 30 blonde He's like, he always had a specific type, and it was like a blonde something. He's like 30 of them at a time would just be in his room, and they would just be like rotating in and out on him in the room. Just walking around like they're all getting out drinking water and shit. He's just banging all of them. Every single one of them.
His blood must be pure Viagra. Pure.
Dude, 1000%.
You can tell because he doesn't just have 25 girlfriends while he's married to a supermodel, Elin Nordegren. He has 25 women who are in love with him. I'm not joking. These women don't say an ill word about Tiger Woods. Have you ever noticed? None of them are like, that motherfucker, he was cheating on me. They're like, well, I still love Tiger. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Not one woman in all of his scandal has come out and been like, he treated me bad.
He's a horrible dude. Horrible dude.
They fell in love with that man real quick. And I don't think it was because of his long tee shot, if you know what I mean.
Deshaun Watson could have learned a trick or two. From the
very chivalrous Tiger Woods. Let's be completely honest here. He's a chivalrous man.
Let's just be completely honest. Tiger is swinging a Big Daddy down there, a Big Daddy driver.
He's got that Big Bertha. He's got that Callaway Big Bertha.
Thank you.
He's got that Callaway Big Bertha. It's a 480 cc. It's the biggest thing on the course. He actually wears the Tiger Club head cover over it. Like the first time.
That's for branding.
The first time the first time they suck on it. I'm just kidding. He's got the Tiger. Let me get out the big stick.
Just talking about documentaries, Dan, did you watch the Redeem Team documentary?
No, I bet that's awesome.
So I on a whim watched it the day it came out on Netflix, and I'm telling you, I liked Kobe already, but it made me realize how much a true dog.
Yeah,
especially that stuff with Powell. Playing those mind games with Powell, it's amazing. Yes.
You listen to LeBron and Carmelo and
it's
Wade,
all buddy with those dudes.
They're all like, Kobe comes and says, I'm going to set the tone for the game. I know exactly what they're going to run. I'm running through Powell's chest. And they're all like, you're not going to do that. That's your teammate. That's your boy. And at that point, him and Powell were bros.
Yeah.
And man, I have never seen anything like that.
LeBron definitely wasn't taking notes that day, I'll tell you.
He ran through that dude like he was a cardboard cutout.
No fucks given, Josie. No fucks given.
If you haven't watched the Redeem Team documentary, you need to. It's really good. Really
on our last episode, I told Stax the story about Steven Jackson. Have you heard the Steven Jackson story? I'll make it quick. The Steven Jackson story is basically Steven Jackson was playing Kobe like in a off season. Like in the off season, they were playing one-on-one, or they weren't playing one-on-one. They were playing like in a team game, right? But they were guarding each other. And Kobe Bryant keeps saying these dates out loud. All he's doing is saying like these singular dates, and he just keeps repeating them. And Steven Jackson has no idea what's going on. Steven Jackson went home later that day and looked up some of the dates. Those are the dates of birth of his cousins, of Steven Jackson's cousins. And Kobe's walking around angrily saying them out loud. It's a true story.
That's like
Steven Jackson does an interview on it.
One of the things that comes, a lot of Kobe stuff comes over my TikTok, and one of the things that is the time that Luka's standing on the line about to feed the ball in, and he hears someone talking trash to him in his language.
Yeah,
like some dirty curse words in his language. He turns around, and it's Kobe.
He said it was he said he had a perfect accent too. He said he was almost doing it perfectly. Like he said it sounded like a guy who was from his country almost. He said he's like what. Who else is from Slovenia? And it was Kobe. It was Kobe who had practiced it enough that he actually got it really good. It's like he was good at it.
And at this point, Kobe was retired.
Yeah,
he wasn't even playing the game anymore.
Savage.
I'm telling you, the Mamba is dirty. Or was.
Do you know where a lot of that comes from? Me and Stax talked about this too. Kind of the same. He grew up in Italy. Because his dad was playing professional basketball over there, and apparently, like he spoke English. He didn't speak Italian, so he didn't have any friends and shit. Like he didn't have very many friends because he couldn't communicate with them. Right? They thought he was all weird because he was black too. And in Italy, they're kind of weird about. I'm not gonna like judge the Italian people, but like I think they're kind of weird about black people because there's just no black people. and like he didn't spoke English, was alone a lot of the time. So he would practice like in the rain and shit alone. And he was making up games. Like he would play against his mind, basically. Like he was like using his imagination to play the game. And that's how he like learned how to like, that's what he thought was going on. He was talking to Steven Jackson's cousins and shit because he was like he's back in Italy. He's back in Italy on a fucking court without a fucking backboard and shit. You know, talking to himself.
And see, it's things like that right there that make me kind of want to say, and I know y'all don't agree. Everybody says LeBron and Jordan is the argument.
We're gonna agree. Watch Stacks because we talked about it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Kobe is a GOAT. He is up there on that list, and he's definitely. I know, like you can't argue top 3 easy, but like
Stacks has been number 2.
See, I almost have him at number 2. And like the number 1 for me is a tough conversation.
You actually no 3. I agree with 3. Sorry.
You would go Jordan. You would go Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, right? That's
me
completely understandable. Yeah, that's what I think you would go, right?
See, that it's a hard one for me. It's really hard because to me, I don't know who's the number 1 in that. And honestly, to me, sometimes Kobe makes that number 1 list just because Kobe took Jordan and basically copied everything he did and almost made it a little better, but just didn't have the championships that Jordan had.
Which to me is his downfall because he copied so much of Jordan. And that goes back to that fucking Italian shit too, where he was just watching Jordan film. He was watching Jordan film. He was watching Lakers film is what he's watching. So he's watching Magic. Film. Yeah, he's watching Magic, but he's watching Jordan as well. And he's emulating all this stuff and he's doing it by himself. So he gets to make his own fucking character. The Mamba was completely made up in his mind, dude. He's like fucking he's like Tyler Durden from Fight Club. He just goes with it. Like he was like that's who it was. It was just like it became this thing. And like, yeah, I get it. I think Kobe is number 3. I think Kobe's dog mentality is fucking never before seen. Like, I think he's a fucking psychopath. I think he probably killed people. I think he probably just killed people in his free time. He had enough resources to just bury him in his backyard and shit.
But like, yeah, I think it's a tough one for me. Y'all argue this all the time. I also am not as basketball knowledge as you, Stacks and Will, so it's really hard for me to have this argument. But I see why LeBron could be number 1. But I also see why Jordan is number 1. And I am in that weird time frame of I saw Jordan play. Like I watched a lot of those games. But I also watched LeBron come up and do what he's done for 20 years. So
what it comes down to almost every time, and I've had this conversation extensively, what it comes down to at the end is literally that what we figure out is that LeBron James as a basketball player, if you break it down to nothing else, if you just go, you have a pickup game and you want to win the game and you want to have the best player that's ever played, that's LeBron James. You have the total package of the best player that's ever played. If you want a guy who has to go through the adversity, who has to hit the game-winning shot, who has to come out and lead his team, who has to be the dog, that is Michael Jordan. That is the difference. There is if you want an actual basketball player, if you make one on NBA 2K, you make LeBron. If you want to win an actual NBA game or a pickup game, you have Jordan. That's what it comes down to every single time. He's an actual better player, but he's not a better player in like the circumstances he was given. That's all there is to it.
No, I would 100% agree with that.
And he doesn't have the mindset.
Yeah,
he's weak.
Honestly, if you wanted to rank the biggest dogs ever in the NBA, honestly, I think it's LeBron, Kobe, Michael. Like,
interesting.
But are we dogs?
You're talking about physically, though.
Just physically.
He's talking about
physically. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
When we say dog, we mean like this dude would fight you. This dude would fight you for a wood chip and an hour.
That's Kobe all day long.
Yeah. The biggest, the number 1 dog for just the mentality, the gameplay, everything, Kobe all day. The Mamba was real. Like,
yep. It was.
I honestly, I almost have to I give the edge to Jordan in that conversation only because I feel like Michael Jordan actually would have killed somebody to win an NBA Finals.
Oh, no doubt.
Like, I think he would have had somebody murdered to win an NBA Finals.
I agree. His father.
I agree.
His dad for one. Mostly he did. He actually did. You got to make sacrifices, man. If you're gonna make an omelet, Josie, you're gonna make an omelet. But like, yeah, if you're gonna make a dad omelet, it's got to be Denver. But just like, but mostly because he would have had a guy killed for his, crippling gambling debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you better drop 40, MJ, but don't win by too much. Wink, wink. Like,
wink, wink.
And he was like, yeah, I got you. And that makes him even like better too, because like he was like, he was shaving points.
Him and Donahue would be best friends, wouldn't they?
I'm sure they were. I'm sure they still are. I'm sure they gamble together and smoke cigars together.
I was gonna say,
and drive their Bugatti Veyrons together.
Speaking of not really what we were talking about, but speaking of dogs in the NBA, where is Shaq on that list?
Down. Shaq's down. LeBron's level. He's exactly like LeBron for me.
Yeah, I would concur.
If he has dog, he's the greatest of all time. I think that's the only guy who supersedes LeBron as he could have been the most dominant player to ever touch a floor if he doesn't eat chili dogs all off season.
One of my favorite videos.
Here's another one, Dwight Howard though.
Yes.
Let's be honest, right. Man. People are so low on his career, but man, his time in Orlando.
Man, if he could have held on to what he was doing in Atlanta or in Orlando, he was a dog in Orlando. Like just dominant.
Have you guys seen the Kiss the Rim? You guys seen the Kiss the Rim dunk?
Yes.
It was his like it was a warm up to the fucking dunk contest in like 2008 or whatever. He wasn't Kisses the Rim. That's that 6. Dude, he was like 6'10". He wasn't that tall actually. Like
he really
his shoulders are like this fucking wide. It's like a Mack truck. And like he could have been dominant, but like.
But again, it goes back to the Shaq thing. It was his mentality. I mean, it's soft.
And Stacks, like we were talking about with LeBron, though, because they're so good at a young age, that kills that mentality. Like it was better for these guys. Like if you look at some of the most successful people in music and business and sports,
they had to work
adversity.
They got fucked up. They got fucked up when they
got something thrown at them.
That's what made Kobe so good. Is so much adversity. He had to fight through so much.
Same thing with MJ. I mean, let's be honest,
guys. I'm not a professionally successful person. I had everything when I was younger. Like I was a big fish in a small pond. Sports wise, everything didn't fucking matter. I just didn't have to try anything for real. Didn't have to try. Didn't have to go to school or anything like that. Never had to face adversity over anything. It hurt me in the long run. Look at dudes like fucking Rob Zombie. If you ever like watched a Rob Zombie interview, that motherfucker was picked on, made fun of. He was the weirdest dude ever in school. Was fucking and he literally attributes that to his success because he just goes,
what you just said there is why I know one day I'm going to be super successful because the amount of adversity I've had to fight through in my life.
You have to. And like, I fought through some adversity after, my relative growing years, which obviously you're kind of supposed to learn it then. I had to learn at a later level. But yeah, like it doesn't help your makeup because a lot of that is nurtured into you at a very young age. Basically, it's like if you have everything handed to you, and my parents weren't rich or anything like that. I didn't have like financially handed to me, but like, sorry guys, I was just fucking good at everything. All right, just fucking good at everything. But like that's not good to be like big fish, small pond. There's just nobody around. I lived in Nebraska. Sorry, Stacks. You know what I'm talking about.
No,
there's nobody here.
Yeah,
there's nobody here. So if you're halfway good at anything, you're just the best in your area, and you think that you're the best in the world. That is not a good place to start because then you don't ever do anything to get better.
You should have come play in Texas. Texas is where athletes are made because everybody is good. Everybody is good.
When I got into college, everybody was good. Then I started to learn.
That's where you started learning. Yep.
Yes. I went to practice the first day and they had me playing corner. And the first dude I lined up against was a former D1 player, 6'3", 220. Yoked out of his mind, had been there for a couple of years. He ran a slant route on me, and I went, "What in the fuck am I doing at corner?"
Like, I'm not in Falls City anymore. Says Dan.
Hey, we're not in north of Kansas anymore. That's for sure. We're not. There's all white guys on that field.
Going back to
all
what
white
you
guys
were
on those
saying
Nebraska fields
about Shaq. One of my favorite interviews of Kobe is when they ask him. If Shaq had the work ethic that you had, where would Shaq be? And in a split second, no
hesitation whatsoever.
Kobe says, "Oh, he'd be the greatest of all time."
Yeah, he's face to face with Shaq in that interview they do together.
Yep, they are.
And
they're in the same room.
He says to him, he was just like, hey, he's like, yeah, I used to be out in the off season. Shaq says, I used to be in the off season. We're by the pool eating chili dogs. He says, that's what really always fucking pissed me off about you. And so he says, right, that was always fucking pissed me off about you.
Yep.
Yeah, like he just like hated it.
Well,
he's like, I'm in the gym 14 hours a day. You're fucking eating chili dogs and drinking fucking wine on the beach. He's like, hey man.
There's a story I heard recently of Shaq. It was like his birthday, and they were playing the Clippers that night at home, and he didn't want to do anything that day. Didn't go to practice. Like was planning for his party all night. He said he showed up to. He didn't even shower. Showed up to the arena in a tracksuit. Everything. Went up. It was Clippers arena that night. Went to the Clippers and said, hey, I got all my friends here. I need some tickets. And they wouldn't give him some tickets. Shaq's plan for that night was to let Kobe do everything and not really do anything. Shaq ended up putting up 60.
Yeah.
Because he was pissed at the Clippers for making him buy tickets for his friends.
Motivate him a little bit and look what happens.
Yeah.
Light a little fire behind him. Yep. And because I read something somewhere that Shaq was 6'5" at 8 years old. So he's already the biggest dude ever. Anywhere he's around, he's better than them, and he's an athlete too. He's not just big. He's not heavy footed. This motherfucker can move, and like so he just dominates everything that he ever plays. And it hurt him. It hurt him. Like he was not. It hurt LeBron James. It hurt Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, that's not a good. You have to face adversity to know that you're
the best players have adversity. The best ones, the ones that you and LeBron. Luckily, the thing about LeBron is he's literally a freak, like literally a freak, and will still go down as one of the, if not the greatest basketball player of all time. But usually that doesn't happen. The greatest are guys like Jordan and Kobe who had to face that adversity.
Who didn't get number one overall, whose high school games weren't covered on ESPN.
As much as I hate him, Tom
destined to be the chosen
Brady,
one,
Tom freaking Brady drafted
adversity.
6th round. Like that's a lot of adversity that he came back. And as much as I hate him, you can't argue that he's not in conversation for the GOAT because he really is.
Dax, we talked about it. We talked about it on the Sports Report. Did you see the Tom Brady quote where he's yelling at the offensive line? like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, he's on the top. He says, I didn't leave my fucking wife so I can be losing.
So I can be losing. Yep.
To what's his name? God damn it, the Steelers quarterback, the young kid.
Yeah, Pickett.
No, Kenny Pickett. He says, I didn't leave my wife so I could be losing to Kenny Pickett at halftime. That's one of the greatest fucking quotes of all time, dude. That's where he finds that chip, though. That's where he was actually thinking that. He was pissed. He was actually thinking that himself.
Well, but then you talk about that one where they're sitting face to face stacks. In that same interview, Kobe asks him, "Were you mad when I got 5?" And Shaq's response, "I tore my house up."
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I was. Of course he was. Of course he was.
On a side note to how hilarious Shaq is, Shaq's fucking hilarious.
Oh, he's great.
The fish tank show on Nat Geo or whatever. Did you ever see that episode with Shaq on it?
Yes.
They're going around his house looking at his fucking rooms.
Yes.
This house is fucking gigantic. Lives in it by himself, clearly. There's like fucking 84 rooms in it. All huge. And all in the corner of them are like 27-inch RCA TVs with like the big tube TVs with the backs on them and shit. This is like 2015. And they're just making fun of him.
To put the tank in, they had to remove one of those TVs from his house. And it was insane. Like, it's crazy.
They all weighed like 500 pounds. They're just huge. Like a bunch of dudes just moved them in there and then just left them. They weren't even hooked up or anything.
Not what this show is about, but man, those guys fuck some people over. Shaq, Chris Jericho. Yeah, so they would come in, they'd put all these tanks together, put all the fish in, wouldn't acclimate them, wouldn't do anything. The fish would die. They wouldn't fix a lot of them leaked. Chris Jericho ended up emptying his tank in a month later. Because
they would just do it for the show so that it was functionable for the show, and then they would just stop taking care of it.
Like screw,
Genius. Sorry. I mean, genius. Like you know how much money they fucking got paid for that shit. They had him sign a contract too. They didn't look
Don't
at
hate the player.
where it said he didn't have to do they didn't have to do that. So like you have to do this now. Like you're fish now. You have to take care of
all of them. They all signed contracts. Like they were supposed and the thing is the guys are based out of Vegas. They put it in and then you're supposed to hire someone to take care of it for you.
And
most of these
which they should have done, right? I mean, Shaq should have done that. He should have known that, like,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have a fucking. He liked what did he like? Groupers or something. He liked some weird.
Well,
weird fucking
wasn't Shaq one of the ones that they put a live coral reef in for?
Yeah,
like,
it's a Superman.
Yeah. Superman,
like Superman.
Yeah, Superman tank.
It had a grouper or a fucking tuna in it, or some big fucking like huge 500-pound fish.
Do y'all remember Shaq's cribs? Do y'all
Yes.
remember his cribs episode?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes. Yep.
He's fucking funny as shit, dude. And talk about somebody marketing yourself, like, and like I mean, he's got to be the most successful
post-back.
Like,
oh yeah,
media.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
He sits on the fucking Papa John's chair. He's the head chairman at Papa John's.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, the guy knows nothing about pizza.
You know who probably has
whatever it is. Like,
probably has the number 2 after that, like success after basketball, and it pains me to say this, is probably Barkley. I can't stand him.
Probably, yeah. He's got Subway, Chunky Soup, all that shit.
Subway, and it's those guys who have been able to go on the NBA show and like
Draymond Green's gonna be next too.
Gentle Giants is really their calling card. Like that's been Shaq's calling card the whole time. Like people love gigantic human beings who are super nice because they know that they could kill you with their bare hands and they don't do it. And it's weird, and people like it for some reason. Like, yes, please, thanks for not killing us. Like,
yes,
we know you can. Like, it's so funny. Like, people love Aaron Judge. He's gigantic. Like, he's so nice, and they just love him. Like, that guy could fucking kill you, dude. Like, with
coming from a person who I'm 6'6", I'm 230 pounds. Like,
gentle giant.
And I'm a big gentle giant. I couldn't hurt anybody. Like,
I knew that.
Not in my bones.
I knew that, Josie. Like, I knew that you were tall, but like before I knew that, it's not that I didn't imagine you as a tall person. It's just I didn't think of you as like an overwhelming you know what I'm saying? Like because that's a good thing. You're not supposed to like. I don't
come off that way. I don't come off that way at all.
Will as well.
Yeah, like, Will's the same way.
Will's a big dude. I did not know that.
Will is only a couple of inches shorter than me, and we both don't come off that way.
Stacks is a big dude.
Really?
Yeah. You don't see the like. I tell him all the time. He's built in the shoulders like LeBron. He's got LeBron's fucking shoulders. I've seen him with a fucking basketball jersey on. Looks like Ron Artest. Looks like Ron Artest brought the Palace of Auburn Hills. Stacks, I saw your mom today.
Oh, did you?
Hung out with your mom for a little bit, yeah.
How is old Ange?
She's doing great, man.
She's doing good.
Why, Stacks, can I ask you a question? Why does it seem like Dan spends more time with your mom than you do?
Make a guess. Make a guess at that, Josie.
Well, probably because A, he's closer, and B, he spends a lot of time at the casino, which she happens to work.
Oh, that makes a lot.
She works at the casino.
She works at
Yeah. So
that makes more sense.
So whenever Stacks wants to borrow $20 from his mom, it's usually my $20 that he borrows.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dan keeps our lights on. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you.
No problem. Mine are going out. I got a delinquent bill today. I'm just kidding. All right, you guys got anything else? Or we
I think we've rambled enough.
Erica Erica just bounces. She just bounces out.
She
what
said,
a producer!
I'm out of here.
She's producing no results. That's
I mean, I did step in, and I'm the executive, so
you know what? I can't imagine like what I don't think people realize is like Erica's doing this like in the background, and like if you're interested in what's going on, or even if you're not, like it's still like it's a job that is not very fruitful at the current time. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like. Absolutely. Good for her. I appreciate her being here and doing that.
Yeah,
like,
that's willingness. I would.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same thing. Like I get it on Sports Report. She usually has a lot of things she wants to talk about with us, but like she also does fight night for me and Will, and she doesn't have any interest whatsoever.
Zero.
And all I do is just shit on her the entire time that we're on the show in the background. Like just she's back there doing her job, producing for nothing, for free, and I'm just shitting on her on the air. That's basically that's what you get for being a good producer. Apparently, it's just people just shitting on you. On the people that are actually live are just shitting on you the whole time. Fantastic. Thanks, Erica. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josie.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, Dan.
Love you guys. Hey, this is Stefan's beer right here. It's been sitting in the same spot it's going to sit right there. It's going to be incredibly skunked eventually. Well, it already is. It's got
everybody following the Weaver rule. Everybody following the Weaver rule. Everybody got pants on.
Nobody has pants on, and I'm about to urinate on camera for the ending of the show. Before we run the end credits, I'm going to hold the laptop like with my hand like this and urinate outside. No, not really. Maybe eventually.
Because I'm about to run the credits right now.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe I'll just do it. I'll turn myself back on.
Guys, make sure you're checking out all the Sports Report content. Monday nights, we got the Sports Report show. Me, Dan, Will, 7, I think will be back next week.
Stacks is going to start requesting that night off.
Stacks needs to get on.
We're just asking.
I need the report.
I need to.
I'm just now asking.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Actually, I'll just ask
next Monday. Are we doing the? Is that the college football? Are we doing that? Change the game?
The game is the 9th.
The 9th?
Which is
Tuesday.
Or maybe it's a Tuesday. Maybe it is a Tuesday. I thought
it's Monday. You're right. It's a Monday. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll let you know. We'll figure that out. Because if we're gonna
I thought I just heard that. Or something.
Well, they were talking about a watch party, but what we would have to do is do a watch party mixed with Sports Report. So that's what we would have to do.
So, but we can't actually show the game, right?
No, we can't. We can have it. All it is us talking about it as we watch it
on any platform.
No, we can't show it on any platform.
The
only way I've seen people get away with that is on TikTok, doing it on lives on TikTok.
How about Whatnot? I bet there's no regulations on Whatnot because I know there's no regulations. Some motherfuckers are playing music in the background the whole goddamn time, dude. I guarantee you could just put a camera right up to that. I'll just have my whole Whatnot screen just be the game, and like, there's got to be no copyright laws, dude. I'm on watch. I watch card breaks all the time on Whatnot. They play whatever music they want. They're just playing music.
What about
from their
Discord,
phone.
Josie?
Discord. I think we can do it on Discord because it's still private. You're only showing it to certain people.
Well, true. Yeah.
But usually the way our watch parties go is us just watching the games and reacting and talking about it. So we might do a watch party / Sports Report on Monday, possibly. I got to talk to everybody else. But we are going to be doing a watch party for Rumble on the 28th. If you're a wrestling fan, make sure you be checking that out. It'll be me, Stacks, Kill, 7, or not 7. Me, Stacks, Kill, Will. Make sure, and you never know who might pop in. Maybe persuade Dan to pop in for that one.
Right back, hopefully, at some point.
I haven't heard back from him.
There it is. You got an official request.
Checking out all of our weekly shows with the Sports Report on Monday, Fight Night on Tuesdays. We're going to be doing a pay-per-view look back this week, talking about Rumble. Rumble 2000 this week.
Rumble 2000. Yeah.
And then the HARDWood right here on Wednesdays. And then very soon after dark, Dan and 7 will be back. And then I think in February, the winter meetings is coming back. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And then as well, I think me and Will are going to revive our XFL show as the XFL is about to kick off here in like 40-something days.
I'm going to try and talk you guys out of that one pretty hard. You know I am.
Fuck you.
Real quick, and related to the NBA, real quick, my last little piece of info. As of today, Luka Doncic, according to Caesars Sportsbook, is plus 260 to win the MVP. And then Giannis Jokic and Tatum are plus 375.
If Luka does not win the MVP, like unless his season just tanks from here on out.
See, I don't know, because you get into the conversation of this is the same thing that was happened with Harden years ago. It's he's going to be good for the whole regular season, and granted, the MVP is a regular season award, but then you get him in the playoffs, and I think he's going to run out of gas.
But it doesn't matter. The MVP is only a regular season award.
Yeah, I know.
The LeBron James-less LA Lakers down 4 at home to the weird Miami Heat as well, 89-87 with 7 minutes left. LeBron's not playing apparently. For maybe he's rest apparently, I guess. Getting them 30-year-old knees iced up. Probably making deals with Savannah about who his next victim is.
Oh, and fuck Skip Bayless.
Hey. Also, there is a D in James Harden. He had a closeout block tonight in their close win against the Pacers tonight as well. There is a D in Harden.
There is a D in Harden.
Yeah,
there's also a lot of Q in Harden.
And on that note, guys, y'all have a great night.
Have a good one, everybody.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you